everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Sunday morning edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman, along with Keith Fustel. We've got a great 8.
Oh, we got it
today's
great.
Sunday card, and we had a pretty great stakes race. Really exciting edition of the Not for Love.
Oh, the Not for Love, really, really good. I mean, a battle, heated battle going on up top. SS Sinatra speediness. They got into it about the half-mile pole, carried that battle to very late. Circle P, the beneficiary. We like that one. Turning back to the 6 furlongs. He's now, what, I think, 3 for 4 at that distance, and just got the absolute perfect bob. SS Sinatra just ran too good to lose.
That's a tough luck beat for Kerry Holbein, who was seeking her first stakes victory. SS Sinatra, you could argue, ran the best race. Just survives the speed duel with the favorites' beatiness and just gets nipped on the wire. But Circle P just looks like he's the epitome of a closing sprinter.
I would just keep him right there, 6, 7 furlongs, no more. The conniver, the homebred connections there. Jay Williamson would stick with the colors, all kind of local flavor for John Salzman Jr. Cleared early and really relaxed nicely up top through the opening quarter, half mile. And I thought dug down deep. You know, I built tenacious late. Yes, Malibu Moonshine made that run up the rail, but she showed a lot of heart. Really, really nice to see that one get the job done in the conniver. Big exacta there. Buckets Vespi, I know, was all over that.
John Salzman Jr. has done a great job with Stick with the Color. She's now won 3 in a row, all in gate-to-wire fashion. We've got 8 on tap at Laurel Park today, but the Preakness is right around the corner. Preakness tickets are now available. It's the 150th running of the second Jewel of Racing's Triple Crown. The Preakness on May the 17th. Again, tickets on sale, Preakness.com. You're not going to want to miss it. The final Preakness at Old Hilltop.
We're going to go out in style, I hope. Hopefully go out of there with a pocket full of money. That's the main thing. But a lot of great times at Old Hilltop. I really cut my teeth there at that racetrack. Going to be sad, you know, to kind of see it go. But then the revival, you know, and we need that change, and we're going to get it. And really looking forward to that. And you also got a great preview day coming up at Laurel Park.
Yeah, Preakness season really gets into full swing. Saturday, April the 19th, Preakness Preview Day. Stakes races all over the place. Win in your ins for the Black-Eyed Susan and the Preakness. And, of course, the Preakness Preview Day Handicapping Challenge for your $500 buy-in. You'll have a $250 live money bankroll. And not only are you going to win cash prizes, but Preakness tickets, BC seats, NHC seats. Contests are back at Laurel Park. This is a hybrid contest on-site and online. Learn more, laurelpark.com/Preakness Preview Day contest. Let's take a look at the weather conditions again. I'm very pleased with the weather today. The track is fast. It's 46 degrees. If we can just keep the wind down, I'll be outside with no cloak.
Absolutely. I think we could have even snuck outside the studio, outside in the paddock. It's a really, really
You're
nice
a braver
day.
man than I am.
We go back some days, and I'm talking negative wind chill, and look at my man Stan. A couple of us were out there. We dealt with some serious elements, but we've kind of brought it inside through the winter months here of late. But no, the weather looks great in training for the week. Enjoy the week. Next week looks awesome.
And we're kicking things off with race number 1, 7/8 of a mile. These are 3-year-olds. The claiming price 40 down to 32. Take out the 2 Bud's Island. Take out the 4 Lou's Birthday. Artillery Gunner taking all the early money and is expected to be the favorite. This is the first leg of our early value pick 5 with a low 12% takeout. Horse player friendly, and horse players have been flocking to this bet.
Yes, they have. I mean, the handle just keeps going up and up and up, and we want to thank you for taking part in the early and late value pick 5s with that 12% takeout. Again, 50-cent minimum. I've got an $18 ticket for you today to close out the weekend. We're going to start off, Artillery Gunner. We're going to have to take a short price. But I'm singling this one to get you started to keep this ticket manageable. Race 2, a little bit of a spread. The 1, Creed's Vision. The 4, Vino's Valentine, a horse that firster that intrigues us, no doubt. Scratch the 3, Smuggler's Gold. I'm also going to toss the 5 in there, Bernie the Star. If there was a horse where maybe late 6 is going to help, this guy's got a lot of speed, and he may stay a little bit longer with the addition of the L. Race 3. We're going to go 3 and 4. Golden Aurora, Can Do. Key Scratch out of there. The 2, Eccentric, and take out the 5, Alice's Moon. Race 4, 2, 3, and 4. In my memories, we talked about before the show here today. It's her race to lose. Dropping it. It's in attack mode here for trainer Tony Ferrier, for owner James Wolf. Finish it up. Race 5 with we got the entry, 2 for 1. Most perfect group ticket, that Ness entry, and the 4, Fun, Lovin' Criminal. Coming back kind of quick. Scratch the 2, scratch the 3 out of there. It's a very manageable $18 ticket. I don't see a grandiose payout, but I see a decent payout in store. That's why I'm going to go 18. If we can turn it into 300-400, I'm going to be very, very happy.
Now we'll start things off with your single in race number 1, the number 5, Artillery Gunner. We have a video spotlight for this one's most recent performance. He is now 2 for 3 in his career, and he is just cruising behind these pace setters.
Yes, he is. He gets a perfect trip at 2 to 1. I was a little surprised even. To me, that was an okay. I'm not really a short price kind of guy, but I thought that, looking at the field, looking at the effort in debut, didn't run awful in that January 24th race. Maybe a little too close to the flow that day, Chipotle. But all in all here, a little drift in, a little bump, but going to widen by 2 3/4 in the end. Now, it did surprise me that the connections attacked down to 20 off of the really good debut. Only a couple races under his belt. We thought he'd find a new home. He did. Into a barn that's just deadly off the claim, year in and year out. We'll see if he's got another one in him. A bump up here. Here's your stat.
And here's Kieran off the claim, 6 for the last 19, 32%, a $2.23 ROI. This barn has won 3 races over the last 2 days, so they are on fire and on point. Artillery Gunner obviously looked good in that race as the horse to beat. We saw him drift in and bump Tiny Lake a little bit. I thought Tiny Lake gave a very game performance myself because the horse that he was dueling with that day really retreated to the back of the pack, and he stuck on pretty gamely for second. Now, of course, there's a concern. A horse inside of him, Buoyant, also has speed, and maybe the most curious thing is that they're going to have to stretch this horse out to 7/8 of a mile. Does Tiny Lake want to go 7? But I don't think he's going to have to go as fast to make the lead in here, and breaking outside the other speed of Buoyant allows Tiny Lake the option to go or to sit. Maybe he can turn the tables on Artillery Gunner.
And he relaxed beautifully a couple races back when caught 4 wide, short comment ridden out, handled the move from 5.5 to 6. You're right, this extra furlong, that's going to be the key because Buoyant, I think, has plenty of speed to kind of stretch him a little bit further. So these two, I do think, get involved around the turn. We'll see who survives. If you're looking for maybe a little bit of a price underneath, Hot Stot's okay to me. Only 4 lengths behind Artillery Gunner without Lasix last time out. Was closer to the pace with the addition of blinkers. I don't think he's the type of horse that needs the lead. I think he can take further back. The sneaky good running line, January the 25th, urged all throughout, beaten 8 and change, 9 inch. Still was running on at the end, had a little adversity in there. I think Hot Stot, maybe Gray Flannel Boss, if things really get heated, are the ones that kind of chase Artillery Gunner home.
Yeah, Gray Flannel Boss, I think, is the best closer in this field. Off the Kerry Holbein claim, that barn has been going very, very well. This horse was the favorite against Buoyant last time out. Now, Buoyant did stumble at the start, but Buoyant was then able to make the lead over a speed-friendly track and set legitimate fractions, while Gray Flannel Boss was sort of bounced around. I think Gray Flannel Boss was really compromised that day and will come with a little bit of a run.
This barn, they are running. They are running very, very well. Cruz had his choice off the overnight. Hot Stot, Gray Flannel Boss. He goes inside. Little positive move up here, but I'm going to hope we can get Artillery Gunner home in this opener. I think 7/8 is good for him.
And I do think we have a quick stat for Tiny Lake that I forgot to put up there. Rudy Sanchez Solomon's been going well over the last month or so. 29% to $2.08 return on investment. Maybe this horse can carry his speed, but you're right. Artillery Gunner is the horse to beat. 5-3-1-7 for Keith, 7-5-6-3-1 for me in the opener. Let's move on to race number 2. It's a maiden claiming event, $45,000 down to $36. Maryland breds may waive the claiming price. Take out the 3 Smugglers Gold. That horse was the second choice on the morning line at 5-2, so it's a fairly big scratch. This race is the first leg of our 50-cent early pick 4. We only have 2 pick 4s today, early and late. First 4 races, last 4 races, get involved.
Yeah, definitely get involved. This is an interesting race because this is the first-time starter. It was a little surprised, but we ended up on the same horse, the 4 Vino's Valentine, 3-year-old son of Vino Rosso. Looking at the bottom side, defining moment, the mare unraced. But second dam is what I like. You've got a win early there, a good family. I think Vino Rosso, looking back at the workouts, compared them a little bit. This is just sneaky. This reeks a little bit of Mr. Pesci. I don't know if we're going to get that kind of performance. I'm just taking a shot here. I do think there's going to be, I think if this horse is into it, he's going to be in there early. He's going to have to deal with a horse like Bernie the Star. But Venus Valentine, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm not sure what to make of Vino's Valentine because this horse has just been breezing steadily since early November. I mean, just a one work after another, and finally we get to see Vino's Valentine in a race. I do like the female family. There's a lot of speed here. While the dam is unraced, she's a full sister to Jackson, who is a debut winner and a Grade 3 winning sprinter down in South Florida. The dam's also a half to a stakes place turf miler. This is the family of Dixie Brass, who won the Met Mile a long time ago. So I do think Vino's Valentine is well entered at this level. This barn can pop with the first-time starters from Breeze to Furlong in 10 and 3 before the most recent sale, going for $19,000 as a June 2-year-old. We'll see what we get because the horse he's going to have to beat is Creed's Vision, and we have a video spotlight for Creed's Vision. This horse did not have a good trip last time out.
No, this is really, really tough. A big field of 11, broke down towards the inside. Found itself 10, 11 lengths out of it into the turn. Ground saving, worked outward, top of the stretch. We're going to pick this one up. Trying to find some room from the head of the lane. You see my comment. Blocked upper stretch to the 8th pole. Thanks. Love the little highlight there. Black Cat, Yellow Silks, and just stymied.
Skunked.
Yes.
Nowhere to go,
Yeah.
trying to find a seam in between horses. And now the seam is there, and you're going to see a really nice late run. This last 16th of a mile is why a lot of folks are going to be on Creed's Vision today, because he is really running on late. The gallop out after the fact was good. You're going to see he just misses second. He's run well in all 3 starts. He's earned competitive buyer speed figures. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to be eventually one of those trouble-prone horses, breaking from the inside, but I think he's the best closer in this race. I think J-Rod's going to get him out of the gate.
He's going to have to get a little bit more position, right? Get him out there. You know, he's showing he doesn't have a lot of, like, gate speed. So a rider like J-Rod, go ahead and push the button a little bit earlier, and hopefully he doesn't flatten from that early ask. But Vino's Valentine definitely is a horse I'm interested in. Bernie the Star, this horse is very quick. You know, looked home free, top of the lane last time. Fade. Lasix going on off a little bit of a break. Was a scratch on the 8th of February, but it's a family that's got some more. Bernie the Star, I think is going to be. I do think the road, unless this 4 is really good, the road's probably going to go through him.
He's at a very fast pace last time before tiring, and the winner of that race came back to do some good things, running second in first-level allowances with buyer speed figures of 81 and 76. Maybe Bernie the Star is too much speed for this field, but I do want to talk about one of the strangers in here, and that's the 7, Missed the Turn. First-time Lasix, first-time gelding. Kentucky shippers generally do well over this circuit. This horse was 150 to 1 last time out against a very good field of maidens at Churchill Downs. He was 4 wide on the backstretch through the turn. You can understand why he tired badly. The 4th place finisher of that race then came back and earned an 85 buyer speed figure when placing at Oaklawn Park. So he fits with these horses.
I've got to note the 11th place finisher came back to run a 72 at Oaklawn Park. A decent race in there. So that was a strong field. Patch Adams, right? Real quick, in this one, you know, knowing the family, the 6, Lucky One Time Connections got to win the other day. Bottom side, one more great time. This scores is akin to some really fast horses, including one more great time. So tab the total a little bit, see if some money shows. Only a few works on my PPs. They are not anything blazing, but the family is there. Interesting sort here for Clover Hill Farm.
As you'll find out on our Laurel Park handicapping guide, Kevin Gomez had his choice of 2. Lucky One Time, Klimt Master. He goes with the first-time starter, Lucky One Time. Interesting race. A lot of things going on in race number 2, where we're both going to go with the first-time starter. 4157 for Keith, 4751 for me. Let's move on to race number 3. We're going 7/8 of a mile. It's a claiming race for 3-year-old fillies. 12,005 down to 10. Take out the 2, Eccentric. Take out the 5, Alice's Moon. The 3, Golden Auroras. The 5-2, Morning Line favorite. This is the opening leg of our Chesapeake Pick 6. It is a 20-cent minimum jackpot wager with a 20% takeout. That carryover continues to creep up over 12,000 into today.
I will sneak in. I'm gonna play a little play on this Chesapeake pick 6, no doubt about it. See if I can come down with 13,000. That would help out the cause at the Fustel residence. But no, key scratches here in race number 3. The key scratch was the 2, Eccentric. Also take out the 5, Alice's Moon, we talked about. But I tell you, Can Do Now. I don't see anybody able to run with
loose
her.
as she wants to be.
Yeah. let you go talk about her real quick.
No, she looks like the main speed in this race. Keith, you like her a little bit more than I do, but last time out, this horse just had to go pretty fast on the lead for 40. Kieran is dropping this horse all the way down to 12.5. A great angle in racing is betting drop downs with speed, especially in short fields with a slow pace projected. Can Do is a very dangerous contender, even with an 8 Beyer speed figure showing.
She battled and went on with some faster horses, I thought, against the grain a little bit on February the 2nd. I really liked her last time. I don't know, what happened around the turn. Rodman, I know, likes this filly. You'll get a talk from him about the Sheffield stable runner for Kieran. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, her race to lose on the front end. Going to be a shorter price now. Golden Aurora, my top selection for Robbie Bales. Just put up via DQ last time, but really showed a lot of grit. We got a video spotlight for Golden Aurora's last race.
Let's watch Golden Aurora. She's on the outside here turning into the stretch, and she's just going to get herded out all throughout the final 3/16 of a mile and is eventually going to get bumped right near the wire. And you could make the argument that Golden Aurora, if she doesn't get herded out and she doesn't get bumped, wins this race.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of heart there. Stepped it up a little bit. Going from 6 to the mile, held quite well despite the adversity. Turning back in distance to 7/8. And finally, we're going to see what she can do on a fast main track. She's been on the turf and then 3 muddy sealed surfaces. Second time Lasix for Robbie. A couple little angles for Robbie that I've got written down here. Last 3 years on the dirt. 3 for 10, 5 for 10, route the sprint with an ROI over $3. And second time Lasix, hitting it about a 24% strike rate, 7 for 29.
And this filly does repeat the route to sprint move that resulted in her win at a big price. Second time out over a muddy track. I like horses turning back to 7. I think Golden Aurora is in very, very good form. Let's talk a little bit about the 7, Star Venezuelan. We both have this horse in the mix. Maybe Star Venezuelan is sort of the best closer in this race. This horse hasn't broken well in her last 2 starts. She was off slow last time. Then she pulled to be 4 wide. She eventually dropped back inside. I thought it was a better race than it looks on paper. I look at this trainer. Well, you and I kind of like this trainer.
Yes.
They've scored route to sprint recently. Optimistic Nate was 12-1 at Penn National on December the 20th. Graft was 16-1 at Charlestown on January the 17th. Both going route to sprint. Maybe this horse turning back to 7 with an outside draw will work.
Absolutely. She looks to be on the improve for a barn that's hitting races and paying prices. Might need a horse like Thunder and Paris to go ahead and go out and keep Can Do busy up front. But we both lean the 3 Golden Aurora.
And why not Grace? We have a trainer stat for Michael Gorham. Between February 16th and March the 2nd, the Gorham barn, 5 for 13, 38%, a 348 ROI. Why not Grace? Another horse turning back from a mile. Ran okay last time out, changed back to a wrong lead at the very end of that long stretch of the mile. Another horse that might appreciate getting back to fast going.
Yeah, you see the comment last time. Firm rate, eased out, and just a little even. See what tactics they take. Maybe just let her run a little bit to get positioned early. She doesn't want to deal with Can Do or maybe even Thunder in Paris early, but stay close enough to grind it out through this stretch. I think she's going to need a little help up front.
3, 4, 7, and 1 for Keith. 3, 7, 1, 6 for me in race number 3. Let's move on to race number 4. This is a 6-furlong event for 3-year-olds. It is a 30,000 down to 24 claiming event. In my memories is the 9-5 morning line favorite, and in many ways she's the key to the race. Before we get to her, though, this is the first leg of our late value pick 5. Only a 12% takeout. It is a great handicapper and horse player friendly deal. 50-cent minimum wager. Get involved in the late value pick 5.
Take note again. This is an 8-race card. Pick 5 starts here in race 4. 12% takeout. Callie Francois with her ticket. It's a $24 wager today. She goes with 3 to get you started here in race 4. The 2, the 3, and the 4, in my memories, will be the favorite. The race, if she breaks, she didn't break last time, it's probably going to go through her. Race 5, Callie's going to go ahead and take the entry. You got 2 for 1, their most perfect group ticket, along with the 4, Fun, Love, and Criminal. Race 6, again, Vodka Teeny, the 3. I like that little price shot there that she's going to use for Michael Gorman. Just ran a stat on how well that barn is. And Concrete Phase, first off the claim, back with the boys, back with the girls today in race 6. Race 7, sees this as wide open. 2, 3, 4, and 6. I think you're going to definitely get some value there with Bernie's Mitts at a 12-1 morning line. She finishes things up here. Single in the last are Avery Lynn. Yeah, scratch down to a shorter field here in race 8. Take out the 1-6-7, but she's gonna rely on old R. Avery Lynn to get it done to complete that late value pick 5.
Callie likes the dramatic single in
Yes.
the last leg of multiple race wagers. Maybe it'll work out today with R. Avery Lynn. We're going to kick things off in this race with your top selection, the number 2, Sweet No-No. We have a video spotlight of this filly's maiden win, and boy, was she impressive.
Yeah, this put it all together. The time before that, you see this short comment impeded start when wide in a maiden 15 back in mid-January, but away a little bit better on this particular afternoon. Outside in hand, the short comment. And look at this, Toledo, ultra confident, really loving the muddy sealed surface. This daughter of Unified just knocks the doors up. Boom, rolls right on through, drawing out to win by 9.5 at even money. So the favorite backers really like this performance. But once Kieran McGee, or when he reaches in, and then in a little bit of a race, you have to pay attention. Up, and up, I think, for Sweet No-No. Yeah, she's going to have to turn it on a little bit sooner because she's facing a 3-time winner in My Memories who just didn't get off well last time.
Didn't get off well last time, but I have to admit I was still a little bit disappointed. Maybe the trip wasn't there for her because she was off slow and then she was briefly on hold in the pocket behind horses, but she got a seam at the 3/16 pole, and you're expecting her to fire that day at a short price, and she just didn't. That being said, if she breaks here, I think she's even faster than Sweet No-No to the front, and she is another horse dropping with speed for a very strong barn. I just have a feeling this is a good spot for In My Memories. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a price.
Rained on your parade yesterday a little bit with Rudy Rod. I'm going to bring a little bit more drizzle
no.
here. Back in 1 to 10 days, 1 for 9 the last couple of years on the dirt for Farrier.
I got to do my homework. Got to do my
Wowsy,
homework.
wowsy,
Wowsy, wowsy, woo, woo. And speaking of wowsy, wowsy, woo, woo, we have a horse to watch from our laurelpark.com handicapping guide, the number 4, Ade.
Yes.
Will Humphrey had this horse as a horse to watch. Ade didn't have a great trip last time out. I want to start with a stat, though, for Rudy Sanchez Salomon. Past 3 years, Laurel Dirt, second off the claim. This is one of yours.
Yeah, 7 for 27, 26% with an ROI. Let's call it $3, $2.99. Ade did not have an easy trip last time out when bumped up off the claim from 20 up to the 32. And talk about William Humphreys. His analysis was spot on about the trip of Ade. Didn't get away the greatest. We've got that in the short comment. Awkward start, a 4-wide advance, and then just when momentum was getting ready to kind of just follow through, stopped upper stretch, flattened from there. That turned back. The stat, I like this move today, 6 furlongs. Holding the level gives you a little bit more hope with Ade to make that run from off the base. Because I do think there's going to be enough flow here for this one to target. She's a 2-time winner.
What's your opinion of New Boots? Because I need a strong opinion. I don't know what kind of horse New Boots is. She won 2 starts back by the length of the stretch, but she also dropped down to the bottom. She was claimed out of that race, and then she was just simply overmatched in a stakes race. So this just seems like it's just right from a class perspective. I just don't know what kind of horse she is.
I just don't know either. And you've got another horse similar dropping from Brittany, goes into the stable of Brandon Front, has got that turn of foot. I think things get heated. I don't know if New Boots, she's going to have some sharp speed, because I don't know if she's going to be able to quite separate from a horse like Lift the Lid or maybe In My Memory. So she's going to have to work hard. If I use her, it's going to be just a little bit underneath.
Do you think Gaga's Hamson is the horse that might be able to benefit from a fast and contested pace? This was a horse that was doing okay work in New York. Last time out, ran 3rd. Did get a good pace setup, I thought, that day. But I just have a feeling second-time Lasix with a fast pace, this is a horse that's going to be running late.
I know she held the same number. She's run 43 buyers, 3 in a row. Visually, I thought it was a little bit better. She had the inside post. She gets it again. She came away slowly. But just through the binoculars, the effort, the willingness was there, and I do think some speed will come back to her.
2, 4, 3, and 1 for Keith. 3, 6, 5, and 2 for me in race number 4. 4 down, 4 to go here on Today at the Races. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the late pick 4. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. We've done 4 already, and we've got 4 more to go, and we'll start things off with the late pick 4, race number 5. This is a pretty interesting race, going a mile and a 16th. 12,000 starter allowance, 20,000 down to 16 optional claimer. The 2 is Agaramase Puentes, and the 3 is Chiquitico, and they're both out. Most Perfect will be ridden by Angel Cruz. Jamie Rodriguez was named on both originally on the overnight. The speedy Charlestown Raiders, Sarah's Candy Camp, is the 8-5 slight morning line favorite. Again, first leg of the late pick 4 today, 50-cent pick 4. I think this is kind of an interesting sequence. If you could beat one favorite in here, you might be able to take home a decent payout.
Yeah. This race, don't know if we're going to get any huge value. The Vanessa entry is going to be an awfully short price, especially if you take the 2 out of the mix. So I can see that one coming down to that even money range when it's all said and done. But give me your read on Sarah's Candy Camp here for these connections that win a lot of races up at the bird together. Going to go ahead and try to get her to get the 2 turns here. Well, it's 2 turns Charleston, but a mile and a 16th distance.
That's the big question mark for me, is the mile and a 16th. This horse wins a lot of races just like the trainer, 8 for 15 lifetime. I watched the last race at Charlestown going 7/8, and he really had to be hustled out of there to make the lead. And then he got a very nice breather on the back stretch, and I think that breather helped him sprint on home. I didn't love the way he finished up that race. I do think he's the controlling speed in here, but at a mile and a 16th, he might be a little bit vulnerable. It is nice to know he handled the Laurel surface very well 3 starts back.
Yeah, it intrigues me. I wonder when you're looking at the Ness entry, I guess Most Perfect's going to be the one to go ahead and try to go ahead and make that first run. Last time out, thought we'd run a little bit better on that muddy sealed surface, the son of Moser. We're going to go first off the thing. Not a real big drop, down here in for the $20,000 tag, but I do think he makes that first move into the speed, but might set it up and soften Sarah's Candy Camp. If he doesn't quite go on with it, Group Ticket will be lurking because he didn't have the greatest of trips last night.
I agree. I think that he can be a little bit closer to the pace, especially from the outside post. J-Rod might try to get him into the race to avoid being forced wide on the first turn. This horse sort of hopped up in the air at the start last time out and then just tracked 3 wide. He got wired by an old class master named the King Cheek. The 6th finisher from that race came back to win by 7 1/4 lengths with an 83 Beyer speed figure. So this race is very well entered here for Jamie Ness. Maybe we'll just have a side bet 1 versus 1A.
I like the fact he protects this one as well. It's interesting, but he didn't have the easiest of goes up at Parks last time out. Big Daddy showed that speed last time. I think he might be a little bit better as a closing sprinter. Fan Club Chase is going to need help. A fun-loving criminal. Here we go, coming back again quickly off the claim with Farrier. And this horse ran really big last time. Hurt it out a little bit. Don't know if he was quite going to get past Elder Larry, but he definitely was bothered a little bit.
No, and he's a horse that likes to win races. He's won 9, and this is an Anthony Farrier stat. First off the claim on the dirt, 19 for the last 62, 31%, a $2.45 return on investment. So we'll fix that for the afternoon show. That's me. That's a bad mistake. Boy, I'm telling you. Fun-loving criminal, though. Again, very nice performance last time. And I like the fact that this is a horse that's been shuffled around from several good barns.
Yeah.
This is a very reliable horse, and I think is tactical enough that doesn't need to be outrun early.
No. He can get within it. I'd like to see him, 3, 4 out of it, leaving that far turn. Again, it's not going to be a burst for him unless things really get. I think he can kind of slug it out late, back quick. Because he ran hard. That last 8th one, that was a pretty good battle last time out, going a mile and an 1/8. But Farrier Barn rolling right along.
Sarah's Candy Camp might be the horse to catch. The Ness entry might be the horses to beat. Keith's going 1-4-7-5. I'm going 1A, 7, 4, and 5. Let's move on to race number 6. We're going a mile and a 16th. This is a nice allowance race for fillies and mares. Now winners of one other than. Take out the 2 Coal Mine, a horse that I was a little bit interested. We'll start with your top selection, the number 3 Vodkatini, going on for a really dependable trainer-jockey combination. Mikey Gorham, Raul Mena. We have a video spotlight for Vodkatini.
Yeah, this is where she basically lost the race. Any chance was out the window right here. Off a little bit slow, put to a ride right off the bat. Now, it was a little bit of closer's lean, and she's shown the ability to make some runs from off the pace. But looking at today's race, looking at this field, I need a break. I thought her 2-back and 3-back races were pretty good against Pistol is Ablazing. But early position is vital. Maybe not right on the lead, but she's got a break. And if she's 1-2 as soon as they enter the backside without much insistence, I think she's got a chance at a good number to stay the trip.
In J-Rod, I trust. He had his choice of 3 in here. Rousey Express, Concrete Phase, Quit Quai, lands on the 5, Concrete Phase. I just think this horse has had some trouble in her last 2 races. 2 starts back, just pulling very early in a slow-paced race. Wound up 4 wide on the turn, got floated really wide into the stretch, and then just missed to a horse that shot up the rail. I think if you reverse the trips that day, Concrete Phase wins. And then last time out, she was placed in a very tough spot against the boys, where she was sort of in and among horses turning into the stretch, and then just couldn't kick with them later. I believe Capcom came out of that race to win with an 80 buyer, and another horse came back to win. Listen, Ness saw enough to dump in and claim this horse. I just think this is the right spot.
We both, and even after that race, we're like, okay, next time out, Concrete Phase, and she'll have to adjust and see if she can to the mile and a 16th to 2 turns here. But yeah, a couple winners out of that last race. I think you'll see her kind of revert and run a little bit better back to that 2-back try. And then you kind of that number, I'm seeing like a lower 70 buyer can get it done. She can certainly accomplish that. She might need a little bit of help up front because from a pace, I don't know how this race is going to go, but maybe that's this Rousey Express, fresh off the bench, hasn't been seen in 225 days, goes ahead and tries to take the incentive right off the bat and get it done on the front end.
That's what I'm sort of hoping for. I think that maybe that horse goes out. Quit Quai's got a little bit of speed as well. Let's talk a little bit about Always Forward, the number 6 in this race. This horse was dismissed at a big price last time out, going a 1-turn mile, and easily outran those odds. Kept trying in the stretch.
Biggest thing, can she pair it up? I don't know where that race came from, to be honest. I mean, you see the comment, rated between, came back on against okay runners. Divine Grace, she's a Rolling Stone. These are horses that would be favorite probably against this bunch. So, yeah, take note. Corrales might have figured something out with her. Burnham got along with her well. The numbers there. Can she pair it up is the question for me.
Coming back on 2 weeks rest, Corrales scored with Top Blood on February the 28th, 18 to 1. That horse was returning in a little bit less than 2 weeks, so that has been a good move for the barn recently. 5, 6, 1, and 4. Maybe Concrete Phase has found the right spot. Keith's going with Vodkatini. I've always been a fan, but she's burned me so many times, so I'm off. Keith's song, which means Vodkatini going to the winner's circle. 3, 5, 4, 1 for Keith. 5, 6, 1, and 4 for me. Let's move on to race number 7. This is the featured race on our card. We're going 6 furlongs. It is a $53,000 purse, and it's a pretty high-level allowance race. We've got a field of 6 in here. $40,000 is the claiming option. The 6 is Sheriff Ronnie, and I do think Sheriff Ronnie is the horse to beat. We have a video spotlight for Sheriff Ronnie, who I thought really gave a good effort last time.
Yeah, this horse was up close, down to the inside, in a little precarious position into the turn. And you're going to see jockey Carlos Lopez have to ease back off arrivals and kind of gave up some ground here heading to the 3/8. Is going to eventually work a trip out to the outside about 4 wide, turning for home. Runs really, really big into a 23.46. Picked it up here. I think he's just in really good form and just was a victim of a tougher trip and caught maybe a little bit better horse, because Wooster, man, was able to flow right up behind those rivals and just come off the cover.
Yeah, Sheriff Ronnie did the work providing the cover. I think that you described it perfectly. Really made a sharp bid 3 wide on the turn, and Worcester came back into stakes placing in New York off this race. This was a really good effort for Sheriff Ronnie, the horse to beat in our feature race. I'm going to try to go back to Don't Wait Up. We see a stat for Sheriff Ronnie. This barn's been going really well lately. 26%, a positive ROI between February the 7th and March the 1st. I want to talk about Don't Wait Up, a horse that does have some back class, and he comes out of that race as well with Sheriff Ronnie. And he was moving with Sheriff Ronnie, and he just couldn't keep up. And maybe it's a sign that this horse is just trending off form right now. He was claimed away from Jamie Ness out of that race. He does have some back numbers that make him interesting. I'm just not sure this race sets up for him in a short field. I need some hitting because he's a true closer.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get good price now. If it was still in the Ness barn, you maybe a little bit lower, but I think you're going to get some value. J-Rod staying gives a little hope. I just like the way Sheriff Ronnie is drawn here to the outside to go ahead and spy. Won't have to make those 2 moves in this race, but There's my old buddy, the two. Tenebris is right back at you. This is a guy that's broken my heart a couple times. Beat me last time. I didn't see that race coming, but we see on Tesori. When they win, they come back, and they usually win again. A 31% strike rate. This is a guy's run really big. You go back to last year around this time, 96 on the page from the buyer figure standpoint. Tenebris will be put into the race early. I think he's going to have to get position. Has to be careful because Whiskey U's got a little speed, but if he wants to go, he can go as well. So Tenebris, Tenebris, Sheriff Ronnie. Those are the two I'm going to key around in here. Awfully short prices. Whiskey and You, though, I like the way this guy. I think he's trending right back up. The 8-year-old now. Good effort last time out behind quick tempo.
Yeah, certainly a good effort, and certainly trending the right way, and certainly a horse that can work out a trip. This is more of a jockey's race than anything else. The 1 and the 2 look like the main speeds. Even Classic Joke has shown some speed in the past. I wonder if Tenebris is going to try to just sort of grab the bull by the horns out of the gate after that 4-wide trip last time. He's cruising to the lead and taking over on the turn. Classic Joke, the number 3, is a horse I've always been a little bit of a fan of, and we do have a stat for trainer Ricky Silliman. This barn's been doing great this year. 6 for 28, 21% to 271 ROI. Now, Classic Joke was listed as a scratch sick on February the 15th, so it's been some time since that entry and scratch. I thought this horse ran an underrated race in his final start last year. He didn't break. He pulled hard and wound up in between horses, and he tried very hard for second behind Sugar Steve, who's just in razor-sharp form.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think he just get that kind of same trip. I know you don't want to be in tight out of the break, but he's shown now that ability to sit just off of it. He's going to have speed to target the 4. Bernie Smith's brings some speed to the table in here. He's a horse I always thought had some hidden talent. He's got some ability. Maybe this little freshening will get him back on his game. A little protect move here for Ricky Silliman and company.
But the 6, Sheriff Ronnie, looks like the horse to beat. 6-2-1-3 for Keith, 5-6-3-2 for me in the feature. Let's close things out with race number 8. We're going 5.5 furlongs. This race is for fillies and mares. 7,500 down to 6,000. The claiming price. Take out the 1, 6, and 7. Our Avery Lynn. That's Callie's single in her late pick 5. Is the 2-1 morning line favorite. It might be a lot shorter at post time thanks to those scratches. She really put it together last time out. She sat off of a very fast pace. She was unfazed by that fast pace, and she ran right on by.
Oh, man, you look at this, too. She's 4 for 11 at the 5.5 furlong distance. We'll go to the video spotlight of our Avery Lynn back on February the 16th, where Forgotten Gift was heading to a fire early. The opening quarter, 21-2. You don't see much faster than that. But our Avery Lynn, J-Rod, they got together well as a team here, made the steady progression. She was put to a ride pretty early, leaving that 3/8 to go ahead and get the speed, but opens up 3 and never looks back from the top of the lane home. So our Avery Lynn right back, she's handling any kind of surface, fast track, off track. She's good, and right back at it, she's going to be right in that 3 to 5 range, I would say, when it's all said and done. And she gets the help again. She'll get that set up because you're going to see Speak Your Mind and Forgotten Gift go. I mean, that's their game.
Forgotten Gift back in the field. There's only one way she goes. It's fast early. She's got to hope to stay late. Here's the trainer stat for our Avery Lynn. Mikey Gorham, last out winners. They win, they stay good. 3 for the last 12, a 243 ROI. I wanted to go with a stranger, and Speak Your Mind does have speed, and maybe Speak Your Mind just can't go with Forgotten Gift early, and it'll be run off of her feet in her first start off the layoff. But this one did some good work at least 3 starts back over a wet track. And I know she's done well on wet tracks in the past. I think last time out was just an excuse race where she got hooked up in a duel with a horse that finished 6th. She finished 7th. It was too fast a pace. It was a closer's race won by anonymously who would be barred from the wagering in this race. I'd give Speak Your Mind another chance in here. But she's going to be a price for Susan Cooney. Maybe she'll need one.
And if you wonder if the connections of Forgotten Gift, go ahead and tell the judge, hey, we can't go that fast again.
I don't think you could tell Forgotten Gift that, though.
Right. You might not be able to tell the horse that. But Speak Your Mind has run okay a little, off of freshening, shown a little grit. You know, when she's on, she'll battle you for a little while. 5.5 works because a shorter run of that turn, she'll get position. I think she stays better, no doubt, than her last 2.
If there is a duel, I won't quit on Feiner's Fillets just yet. I think this horse ran better than it looked 2 starts back, 4 wide all the way around the track before flattening out. Last time out on a very hard chase down towards the inside before finishing evenly. Tam Char, if you recall, in that race just went out to a very fast pace as well. I think Feiner's Fillets is an underrated form.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Wesson. Go ahead and take a little bit of hold. And granted, it's a short if you don't want him too far out, but you got to make one solid run. I wouldn't unleash the fury with this one until about the quarter pole.
4, 2, 5, and 3 for Keith. I'm unleashing the fury with the 2 at a big price. 2, 4, 5, and 3 in the finale. Best play time, Keith. Where are you going?
I'm going to go right off the bat. Artillery Gunner for Kieran off the claim. We saw the performance last time. A little bump, reunite here with Tiny Lake, but again, I think has speed to target. 7/8, I think, is going to work beautifully. We're going to take a shorter number, though, on Artillery Gunner.
My best play is coming a little bit later in the card. Group tickets 9 to 5 on the morning line. I'm hoping Sarah's Candy Camp takes a little bit of money, so that group ticket doesn't get bet all the way down. But I like the performance at Parks last time out. I think this horse had a tough trip, can get a little bit close to the pace. 9 to 5 on the morning line. Maybe he's a kind of horse you key in sort of multiple race wagers. 22 minutes to post for our opening race on an 8-race program on Sunday at Laurel Park. First post time is 12:10. Callie Francois, Dave Rodman, and I will take you through the 8-race program, and we'll go up to Dave Rodman for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck, everybody.